back and we want to focus on one single product. So we've talked about this product before in the mini series. It is the golf brush that we've got. Still only got 1 rating and it is selling like crazy. So we're, again, inventory issues are here, but it's still doing really well. So what we want to cover in this video is these are the 3 campaigns we have running for this product. We mentioned that we've got tight budgets right now because of inventory, but that doesn't mean that we can't set up these campaigns and at least go through how to organize them. All right.
And we collect a lot of data within the last 30 days before we shut them off.
Exactly. So you can see here, we've got last 30 days. We've got the auto campaign has 29 orders. We have an exact match keyword campaign with 11 orders, and then an exact match ASIN targeting with 3 orders. So what I want to do first is open up this auto campaign. If you're starting Amazon PPC, an auto campaign is always going to be your first step, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Don't be afraid to set up an auto. Everyone still does it. Okay.
We covered that in a previous video as well. So if you're not familiar with that, check it out.
Yep, exactly. Go back through this mini series and see that we're really trying to go through a progression here to help you guys out.
Start to finish.
So let's say I was taking over this account, right? And I was auditing this and we were focusing on the golf brush. Very first thing is I want to be able to open up Campaign Manager and know what every single campaign is. So if this is me, I always like the ASIN in here in the product title, but I'm not going to remember every ASIN off the top of my head. Neither is the other people working on the account. So I'm just going to call this golf brush dash ASIN. And then with all of the types of campaigns that we have, SP, which is sponsored products, SB, which is sponsored brands, and SD, which is sponsored display, I always like some sort of indicator on what type of ad this is. Okay. And it's like, you see, I'm even copying Amazon right there because they say type sponsored product dash automatic targeting. I just shorthand that. So now I have a much better indicator. So if I open up the rest of these, golf brush dash ASIN dash exact product, I'm going to do SP exact. And Kai is he's saying product targeting. This is targeting products. Totally fine. So we're gonna keep that. Not a lot of other people here might say like ASIN targeting or PT for product targeting. Doesn't matter as long as you know. And then this one, it's just really simple, right? Golf brush dash ASIN, and this is just exact. So we could put. So we're gonna do SP exact. We could do keyword or keyword, but I mean, if you know, right? So you can really go crazy with campaign names. Some people put dates in there and everything, but you just want to have a few separate indicators to know what's going on. All right. So now what we want to do here is I want to dive into after you have an auto campaign, what do you do to extract that data and move on to the next step? All right. So Kai, I'm going to pull this up and just if you look at this, so this is what you guys want to do. You want to go to search term and then right off the bat, is there anything here that kind of blows your mind that you wouldn't expect?
Mostly the products. When I see that we made a sale off of a Puma shoe, I don't think someone is going to buy golf shoes, sees a golf brush tool and is like, hey, I need that as well.
Yeah.
I would never personally go out there and say, hey, I'm going to target Puma shoes.
Exactly. So
why is there a golf tool right there? There's no reason.
Right. So this is the stuff, I'm looking for. So there we go. There's ads down there. So this is what Amazon does. This is why auto campaigns are so important, because they show you that you can convert on this stuff. And I don't even know exactly where our ads showed up on this page,
yeah.
But dude, one click, one order.
Look at hats, hats. I don't understand why
exactly
would buy a hat. And
so if you're doing your manual keyword research, right? Obviously these are the keywords you're going to bid on, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are all the ones you're going to bid on. And you're converting at 100% on some of these. So, but as you scroll down, this is why auto campaigns are so cool, but why they can get dangerous, because in the end, autos start to show up on way more ASIN than they do keywords.
Yes.
Okay. So very, very basic level. And I know this is what software tools are for in automation. If you're doing this on your own, you want to export this right here. Right. So we export this, and then all we're going to do is just sort this by orders. Okay. So now we have a list of everything that has an order, and every ASIN that has an order as well. Okay. Now we can see that Kai's already been working on this, right? Because it shows what's been added as negative. So you want to touch on that really quickly, because I know what it means, but people might not.
Yeah. So one of the things that I like to do with all of my campaigns is that I like to set up that auto campaign and have it running at first, which you guys look at the last video, that was really the only campaign that we had running for a while. And what I do is when I see that a product sales or converts into an order, then I take these products or these keywords or ASINs, and then I move them over to the other campaigns that Lucas will show you. But then I go back and I add those as negatives into my auto campaign so that Amazon knows not to target that keyword anymore because it's already found it for me.
Yeah. So you know what? This is, some people might debate this, but I think at this level of the game, this is what you want to do, because again, what you do is if you bid on this manually, it gives you much more control. Where you can say golf club brush, you can control the bid, you can control the placement. The only thing I want to say about that is one thing to think about is that autos they will get different placements than manuals.
Interesting. Okay. Did not know that.
So sometimes what people will say, and that's why I open up this page right away, because on a lot of pages, there's 2 carousels of ads. Okay.
Okay.
One of them is autos. This one only has 1 carousel, but I want to show you guys, because as you scale an auto campaign, if eventually you have way too many negatives in there, it's going to stop firing. Okay. This is what I'm looking for right here. One of these is autos. One is manual.
Got you. Okay.
So I don't want to say this is wrong, because if your spend is tight, this is going to give you more control. But with bigger brands and as you scale, it's actually totally fine to keep these in your autos.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen is this ASIN in your auto campaign is going to show up here. And you can't get this anywhere else but an auto campaign.
Okay. How would I go about continuing to get Amazon to bid on this keyword?
Yep.
But then be able to get it to find other keywords as well? Or is it just constantly doing both?
Exactly. So you know what I think we're going to do is we're going to do another video just on bids, because I want to cover that. And I think this was, so basically as kind of a teaser for the next video, what I want to say, right, because I want to stay on this right now, because this is a pretty big topic. So what I want to show you is like your cost per click right now on these is still pretty high, right?
Yes.
So in theory, if you bid on golf club brush in manual, in theory, you're going to have to bid more than 263, because that's what you were paying in the auto campaign, right? So that's what you need to look at, is what were you paying in the auto, and you need to pay more than that. And Amazon will clearly state you will never bid against yourself. You can't, get in a bidding war against yourself. But if they see that one campaign is doing better with the keyword, they're going to give that kind of preferential treatment. All right. So it's like, this is a really good thing to cover, because if you have enough, and that's like you were saying, we've collected this data. We can see our cost per click average is about $2.12, right? So we can use this as kind of a taking off point to set up manuals and to set up this ASIN targeting and kind of go from there. And then just let the auto keep doing its thing, right? Let it keep getting these new keywords and new ASIN targets.
Okay.
Does that, like, do you have do you have any questions while we're kind of on here? I know that got a little advanced as we hopped into this.
No, it makes sense. And something that just helped me realize I never take that cost per click and take the average to help me determine what my bidding should be in my exact or manual campaigns. So that is a good piece of knowledge to take forward as I create more exact campaigns to figure out what my keyword bids should be priced at.
Yep. And guys, that's what we're going to cover in the next one. I want to do separate setting up keyword bids is not using Amazon suggested bid. That's one thing. That's one small tool, but using your average cost per click. So we're going to go through that. And I hope you guys enjoy this kind of conversation, diving into the weeds a little bit here.